to it, everybody.
Well, it's always a pleasure being with my friend. You're
It's good to
my
see
brother from another mother.
you. Yep.
So
That's what we've always said.
folks were asking about you in Fresh Market yesterday.
What aisle were you in?
I was picking up chicken. I got the ground round was on sale.
Oh man.
And then the chicken breast.
So yesterday was Tuesday. They usually do the
dinners,
the chicken breast and ground round sale on Tuesday.
The funny part about this ground round is, guess where that goes? Julie fixes it up for the dogs.
Oh really? So she cooks it up and it gets right.
The only prepping in my house is not for the humans; it's for the dogs. They've got all their stuff organized for the week, and of course, Julie and I we're 7 o'clock at night. So we're going to do for
but the dogs are good.
You want to go to Culver's, honey?
It's so similar at my house. Like
what is that?
We've been doing Fresh Pet for Bernadette. You know, the real
Bernadette,
food.
she's got the most beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you. She's a good girl, and but she's always prepared. Now us, on the other hand, I've gotten in a better kick with meal prepping. Like I brought my lunch today.
That's good.
Simple
it's
ground
important.
beef and rice. You know, just have a simple protein, carbohydrate, and move on. It's good to see you though. You got to experience a little Toto on the First Coast.
Oh, man,
how was it?
It was amazing. St. Augustine Amphitheater. So Toto was like the vibe of the '80s. So I'm a yacht rock guy.
Yes.
So I just appreciated everything. The vocalist, I didn't realize Joe. He actually was the voice of Hakuna Matata.
Oh, really?
And he freaked everybody out. Said, "We didn't know you did that in The Lion King." And then the lead singer, of course, helped Michael Jackson. Not the lead singer, the lead guitarist, Luke, we call him.
Yeah.
He helped Michael Jackson with his Thriller.
No
album.
kidding.
And so Toto had its hands in a lot of the '80s stuff that we.
How many original members do you know? Like how many? I know the drummer has passed away, but
one original member officially was there.
Okay,
but they had members that joined back in the '80s. But I like the whole vast array. They had young 20-year-olds in the band now.
Wow,
they could sing. So the guy Luke said, "We're glad that we have the young one because he can sing." So the vibe, it was wonderful, wonderfully done.
That's great.
Rosanna. 99 and Hold the Line.
Hold the Line. That's a great one.
And then, of course, Africa, we all sang at the end.
Yeah.
That was the big.
That was how they finished it off.
Yes.
I always loved Toto's grooves. They had, Jeff Caro, one of the great drummers of all time who passed. But he was phenomenal and just created these incredible song-defining drum beats, which you don't think about with drummers a lot. But
you know more about drums, so to explain to me, they were talking about he was the father of the half beat,
the halftime shuffle. So Rosanna is in particular the Rosanna shuffle. Mm-hmm. It's a very intricate and tough to play for even a expert drummer, but it defines the song. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play it on. I'm gonna have to play it again.
It's a halftime shuffle with the hi hat and snare, driving that song. Such a good
church.
Song. Yeah.
Can you do the half beat when
I
come to mass and have you do the half
I can do a Purdy shuffle. I can do a version of a halftime, but I can't do the Rosanna. I can't. Okay. It's just not have it have the feel and the right vibes Jeff did. It was unbelievable. But that's good. So back to the weather side of things. How was the weather because at the amp, you're right there by the beach.
Yeah.
So obviously we've had sea fog. You didn't deal with the fog. You had a little quick shower.
I had a rough crowd in the car. They were all over me.
Oh dear.
Mike, why is it raining? It just rain. Of course it's Florida. We're poured on.
The only spot. Really,
and it was just our spot. Coast. It lasted, thank God, only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I said it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass
quick.
So luckily it worked out.
That's kind of our rain chances the next 7 days, right? So these little passing showers. We have a couple of chances. Maybe Friday. We'll get to it. Mm-hmm. But we look at these coastal showers, and once they hit land, they generally fall apart. But looking at the bank live here, that wall of sea fog out towards the beaches. But we have warmed up nicely.
We have
inland, and now we've got some blue sky.
We do. This morning we were showing a 600-foot tall cloud over downtown. So Everbank, I looked this up, is 200 feet tall. So about 20 stories. But picture the fog. The ground cloud that formed over Jacksonville this morning was 3 times the size of Everbank, and you couldn't see anything. It was scary going over the Hart Bridge. I mean, we had visibilities near zero. And, I was used to driving in fog, especially in Vermont, New England, a lot in college. This was the real deal. And the problem is we're still in this stagnant pattern where we could see more of this dangerous fog develop. But we get a little break, at least today. And then again by this evening, overnight into tomorrow, we do it all over again. So foggy to balmy is the forecast. And notice, hey, we've broken out into sunshine, officially 64 at First Coast News and looking wonderful.
I got to put you on the spot, but I know I'm not putting you on the spot because I know you do this as good as anybody. But our mutual friend and colleague Anthony Austin texted me this morning. He's at a school talk. He's talking to first graders.
Okay.
And he asked me, he goes, why is it so foggy out? A first grader just asked me. So the challenge is not just explaining why the fog, but for a first grader. So what would your words be if you were in a classroom full of first graders? How would you explain the sea fog setup?
Well, first graders, so think of the maybe sometimes they may have a Sprite or maybe a pop.
Yeah.
Did you say pop?
A little pop. I said Coke. Everything was a Coke when I was
Think about a Coke with your dinner, lunch, whatever, and you pour it in the glass. You got the ice in the glass, and then you pour it in, and you see the outside of the glass start to condense.
Yeah, you get a little moisture on the outside of the glass.
You got the warm air on the outside and cold in the inside. Well, the ice in the glass is our ocean right now.
Yes.
So, and then you've got the cold ocean, and then you've got the warm on the outside. That warm air that we're seeing bringing us this April and May pattern. And then you've got the cold ice inside the glass, and we're getting this instant condensation each and every night. And it's a fog. A fog is just a cloud, a stratus cloud that develops at the ground level.
That's it.
And I said, we need to get these clouds back up where they belong this morning. It was nasty. I mean, it was a really nasty accident on the Dames.
I got to give you a 10 out of 10, man. That was a great. I love the soda. I used to take when I was doing school talks back in South Carolina. I would stop by Bojangles first, a little restaurant. Bojangles was great. And I would get an iced tea.
Yeah.
So I get an iced tea in a Bojangles cup. And of course, iced tea is brown, a brown liquid. And I'd set the thing up there on the table, and to explain cloud and formation, right? Because I think a lot of people assume, oh, well, these little paper cups, oh, they're just leaking. That's just water from inside, kind of leaking out, perspiring out, right? But you explain to kids, well, I mean, the water on the outside of the cup's not brown, is it?
No.
It's clear, So this water is from the air around us. We got water all around us all the time. It's just getting to that right temperature to make it turn into a cloud. So I think that's a great explanation, man. So we're prepared now for our school talks as we go visit kindergartners, first graders who always have the best questions.
I used to drive around the PD and the back roads of South Carolina at school talks.
Yeah.
And we had a Mustang, a convertible.
Go to Florence Christian Academy ever?
We did not.
Florence Christian, that was one of our big rivals in high school.
But we used to take tornado chambers with us, and we'd have the hot pan.
Yeah.
And of course you would need water in the hot pan, and you would have it'd be like 4 feet tall, and we'd heat the little pad. It's a hot pad you would take for camping. And we'd get that condensation funnel, and we'd get it going because we'd leave some little air pockets on the sides. Okay.
I want to see that. That's a great. We need to invest in that.
We need to redo this tornado chamber.
We need to bring it back.
But school talks are always fun. We love doing those. And as we take a look at the school talk for Anthony, he's going to be fine getting there and getting home. Look at the little patch. There's a little bit of a gray area on the river still.
Right on the river.
There's some of that ice. Well, it's not ice officially, but some of that colder water.
Yeah.
And then we got a little chilly. And then here's our forecast fog and winds. I did a dual thing here showing you when the fog would, lift and then return. So notice as we head through today, we've got some mixing going on. East winds 10 to 20. And then as we look at that fog, it's going to hug the coast and just offshore and then move right back in, it looks like, as we head into the evening through 11 o'clock. So again, it's that onshore flow that continues to bring some of the problems around the area that's adding some of that moisture to the atmosphere.
That's right.
You have to have enough of the moisture or that in the cup you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
And then we take a look at the 12 on 12 and we're talking about a beautiful day in between fog to sunny to fog to sunny.
Yeah.
That's the pattern. Temperature wise, this can be deceiving though. You see 76 officially, 77, and there's our weather impact alert. There it is, 7 o'clock through 10 a.m. to cover us. This morning we had to extend the fog advisory till 10 a.m. Very thick, dense, near zero visibility. Tomorrow I could see that happening again, although our water temperatures are going to start to warm up eventually. And I do see a little better mixing as the week goes on. So hopefully a little lower threat as we head toward Friday and the weekend. We'll keep an eye on that. But there's the colder waters. 57 is our buoy offshore there, northeast Florida. 72. They're not getting the fog problems down, if you notice, in Central and South Florida because they've got some warmer water out there to work with. And then 80 by the time you head into the Caribbean. So that first coast fishing forecast we've been watching, those water temperatures, 60 on the ocean, 64 right by the Buckman Bridge there. And that northeast flow continues. There's those choppy seas. So things we're going to be watching this week, the building seas, rip currents, and at least a little bit of a lighter chop on the intercoastal. And there's another look again at the fog. Again, just a reminder, a short break. And then that fog's going to move right back in as we head into the evening. But that persistent flow, I'll pile up some water at the beaches. And here we go. Here's the actual visibilities, Lou. And you can see that not a great day to be a boater.
Yeah.
You need a foghorn.
We got to have the foghorn, Jacksport, foghorn alert. I will say it's been like clockwork. And these last few nights at 6:15 to 6:30 is when we start seeing that fog. I mean, last night, right on cue at 6 o'clock. I mean, the tower camera looking over downtown couldn't see it. So that's what we anticipate again. It's
there's 6:05 tonight. Look at that.
Yep.
Right.
Starting to see the half mile there out of the beach, Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine. I want to, I know Brunswick here is indicating kind of that full unlimited visibility. But let's watch St. Simons and Jekyll because we've had they've got their own little microclimate. And one thing we do as forecasters and meteorologists is, I mean, you look at highly scientific things, but sometimes you keep it simple. And sometimes you think about what's called persistence forecasting, which if nothing has changed in the pattern, why change your forecast?
But Lewis, I'm more of a transition meteorologist.
Transitional. Find that transition day. And when does that come? Let's take a quick time out. We'll take a short break, come back on the other side, kind of talk about the week ahead, what it's going to take to change this pattern we're in and what we could see here in the next few days. So stay with us.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Breaking overnight, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Breaking news, a major crash on I-95.
Routine controlled burn got out of control. First Coast News was the only station there.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus. The First Coast News Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Have the umbrella in the back seat, the rain jacket ready to go.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
Let's get some breaking news we've been following overnight.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. First Coast News Plus, complete coverage of your local news, weather, and more.
All right, welcome back to it. Weather Impact Live. Fog has been the story. So, Mike, I ask you, what's it going to take to change our pattern? We need a little wind shift, don't we?
We do.
And you alluded to the warming ocean temperatures.
Right, warmer ocean temperatures and more of a southeast flow coming our way, a little bit better mixing, and we're going to have still, it looks like another night of fog, as you can see. Next Weather Impact Alert officially 7 p.m. this evening. Through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, and look at that, just widespread for all of our counties, near zero visibility. And then as we get toward 10 a.m., once again lifting, but we're going to start to see more of a southeast flow. All right, so just keep in mind as our forecast planner goes, Lou, we broke it down.
This is great.
One day at a time. So we got Jacksonville versus Atlantic Beach versus Mandarin because we're in a classic spring pattern. Check it out. I mean, look at the temperature differences across there. We had to tell folks, keep the jackets handy at the beach, and then at the same time I had shorts weather all on the same day. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and it is two different weather forecasts, at least, when we're talking about our beaches versus Jacksonville versus Mandarin versus Lake City. So I mean,
we could go on and on.
We are a massive, market in terms of square miles, and the microclimates and full-blown climates we cover between St. Simons, which is the way it's oriented on the map, it gets a little bit of a different wind flow than what you get in Ponte Vedra.
So those zone forecasts are everything.
They really are. So just keep in mind, beach is cooler. Well, inland, now you get in the car, you leave the beach, you're going to go run some errands at the town center. That North Face jacket you've got on, you're going to take that thing off, and then you go the other way, go out to the beach thinking I'm going to go dip my toe in the water. You might.
It sounds like the middle of the night at my house. Julie's either too hot,
too cold,
too cold.
Hot, yeah.
I'm saying it's way too. She's saying too hot, then I could turn it down, and then she gets too,
I hope that's not biological. I hope it's more temperament with you. You know, you make things a little too hot sometimes, Mike Prangley. Hot in the kitchen.
Yeah.
My man's cooking
Can't take
it
the
up.
heat in the kitchen. Get out.
Get
they
out.
say.
If you
All
can't
right.
handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, Mike.
Oh man, 7-day forecast. Here it is,
Yeah.
Louis. All right, well, Louis, I tell you what, we got that next weather impact alert, and it's getting hot, not just in the kitchen, but it's heating up as we head into the weekend. There's that wind shift we were talking about, so hopefully we can be done with some of the thicker fog at least as we head into the weekend. But there'll probably be some patchy fog still out there, and then you got 85. Record high I had was 88 on Sunday, so I still don't have records, but at least near records.
Yep.
And are you excited about turning the clock forward? Is the key here?
Yes. I am a man who appreciates variety in life. I like change.
Okay.
You know, there's many people on both sides of the argument here. You know, we got legislators trying to make it to where it's just one time. It's either all standard or in Florida, it's all daylight saving. I'm a guy, I like the change, you know, and people might be screaming at their streaming sets right now saying, Lou, you're nuts. But I do like, you know, getting a little extra daylight in the warmer months where we have more time to do outside stuff later in the night. You know, Saturday evening, we're not going to bed, you know, at 7 o'clock. We can stay up a little bit later and do some things outside and in the yard. And then, you know, come to the holiday season, you get closer to the holidays. We get that time change back. We know it's fall. We know it's time to settle in for our long winter's naps.
And it just
that's
makes sense.
Kind of my vibe. So I'm excited for. So what's going to happen this weekend? I'm going to tell you a personal anecdote. So my son has a swim meet in Ocala, Florida.
Okay.
And he's swimming very early in the morning. Both Saturday, he'll swim in the evening Saturday too. So what's going to happen? We're going to be a lot of tired swimmers on Sunday because the meet time doesn't change, but they're going to lose an hour. So I got to make sure he understands he's got to get to bed an hour.
And I got to set my alarm a little earlier too for all the events getting
ready.
Weather swing.
You know, we got a lot of big things happening. So, is the weatherman telling me it ain't gonna rain?
I think it's not going to rain for most of us.
Sitting in the drop top soaking wet?
Yeah, I think you're going to be good from Ocala to Jacksonville. The best chance I can do on the rain Sunday, 30%, and maybe a hit or miss shower. And as we get to some of those events, let's go all the way through the weekend. We got the Art Walk. It starts tonight downtown. If you haven't checked it out, we've got this bright moon that's going to greet you. Just be careful. It's 5 to 9 o'clock. There could be some fog moving back in by 9 o'clock.
I think it'll be fine. Okay. You know, the fog's going to be thickening up, but I think you're going to be good. It's going to be a pleasant night. Just an interesting looking night with the tapestry of clouds. This is cool. Villanova at UNF.
It's going to be a good game. UNF's on a roll now. They've won 3 in a row. They just got off a series sweep.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully they can keep it rolling, but that's cool having Villanova coming to town. 6:05 out at Harmon Stadium.
There we go.
And I used to be a PA announcer out there.
Yes.
And I remember the days where I would introduce the second baseman, number 6, Brian Strew. Do I still have it?
You got it. You have got it. And you and our colleague Joe Massa are kindred spirits because you know he does it over the Iceman still.
He does.
I think you did some football for a while too, didn't you? High school football,
basketball.
Are you still doing that? Are you still like during high school football season? Now that
football Creekside, I'll help out.
Nice.
I'll go over there and do a little PA announcing as well.
You're great at that.
Tell me about pitching. Did some pitching?
I was a pitcher. Yeah.
Okay, I remember you telling me, and you got up to 90 miles.
I could throw. I throw fast. I throw a ball very hard, very hard.
I could see that.
But
you're built for that.
We lose that with age, unfortunately.
Well, you're still got an 80-mile-per-hour in you. In fact, we got good. Look at the little jacket weather there, hoodie weather, and Lou, bring the heat for us here. What's the next big thing?
Next big thing, we know we're in that locked-in pattern with the fog in the morning. So Wednesday and Thursday morning, I wouldn't be surprised. So we'll keep that in mind. 80s going to make their grand return inland. All right, but I do think we start to see a bit of a warm-up at our beaches. I don't think, 80s, but we are going to start seeing low 70s at the beaches. So warmer days continue. We've had this pesky, almost Bermuda high set up with that onshore flow happening, a little coastal trough set up as well.
I'm going to go right to that beaches forecast you were talking about because I'm agreeing with you here.
A little warm up at the beach.
Here it goes. We're going to do a duel. This
is important.
You'll love this.
This is one of the more important kind of ways we can do a 7-day now because we have 2 zones. We have several zones, but the main 2 that we're talking about with discrepancies in temperatures is going to be between inland and the beach. So, by the time we get Thursday, Friday, we do start seeing 70s kind of eke their way in. We've been struggling to get to the upper 60s these last few days, even at the beach. And I know St. Simon's has been kind of spending the entire day in the 50s. So much cooler.
But even near 80, that's pretty impressive. So I'm thinking of Sawgrass next week for the players. We could actually hit 80. Think about that out at the stadium course.
First round, do you think Thursday, if we've got a front approaching?
That wind's going to turn southwest. So maybe low to mid 80s eventually. And then we'll have to watch out for that next chance of rain.
And you mentioned, we mentioned what's it going to take to snap the pattern. And it's a front, it's a wind shift, southwest winds. What's going to cause that?
Let's go to that.
We'll kind of take a look at that. Why don't we take a quick break? We'll take a 1-minute timeout, pay some bills as we get kind of ready to go with our next frontal system and a little bit of change, as Mike likes the transition.
We'll talk about the transition.
For 15 years, I've lived and breathed Jacksonville weather here at First Coast News. From stepping out in the midst of hurricanes to just delivering your daily forecast, I take it seriously because weather can impact your safety, but it also impacts your everyday life. So my job is to make it easy to understand so that you're prepared. I'm Lewis Turner, and as Chief Meteorologist here at First Coast News, it is my honor to be on your side.
Get your latest forecast on First Coast News Plus.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Breaking overnight, police are investigating an officer-involved shooting.
Breaking news, a major crash on I-95.
Routine controlled burn got out of control. First Coast News was the only station there.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
All right, welcome back to it. We got, change in temperatures, warming trend happening. We've got maybe even in the long range forecast, a front to track later on into next week. So spring, we are truly feeling, even though we haven't hit astronomical spring yet, we are kind of in the midst of our infancy of our spring, even as we speak.
Okay, yeah, and speaking of spring, it's really sprung over much of the country. So we're talking hundreds of record highs from Dallas to the Midwest up into the Northeast. And you can see with that, we've got severe weather outlook. So check out St. Louis to Dallas. There's a big yellow shading there. Today we could see a few storms with large hail. And then as we head into Thursday into Friday, Lou, we got a level 3 out of 5 severe weather threats.
So we're talking tornadic potential. All the storm chasers,
the whole gamut.
Line. Everybody's going to kind of be gathering from Oklahoma through Kansas and parts of Missouri to watch for a potential tornado outbreak.
It's just reminded. So you notice you go from severe weather and supercells in Wichita to heavy snow back to Colorado, and it's that time of year. So that's the front that will eventually move our way. Not looking for the widespread severe weather, but we could even see some thunderstorms with this. But for the weekend, notice it's still hung up well to our west. And as we look at our rainfall, we're in the light zone. The heavy rain's going to stay with that stationary front through the weekend. It'll maybe get as close to Mississippi, maybe Birmingham, Alabama. You could see a little bit to Atlanta. But notice overall, it's a steady holding pattern. And for us, that means we're just only going to get warmer from here. But that same front will eventually get here. Here's Saturday.
Yeah.
You said we could have I had an isolated shower like you in the forecast. That's it. But look at the weather impacts as we head into next week. I have rain likely, maybe some lightning and downpours that may impact the players. So there's Sunday. Sunday would be my better chance of one of those quick fleeting showers during the afternoon. So we'll watch that. Maybe a little more humidity to work with that could pop the storms. And then here it comes. All right, right into here. Boom.
There you go.
Okay, so that's the latest Euro. Thursday, March 12th. And then from here, it's going to be interesting.
It is. So, and with this being long-range modeling, you kind of take timing, at least hourly, with a little bit of a grain of salt, but you look at the pattern, and pattern has been consistent. The last couple days of a Thursday, March 12 arrival of some much cooler air behind this front, a wind shift, a pattern shift, and even the chance of some showers. So we'll kind of have highlighted and circled in yellow the Thursday, and we'll watch and see. Does this front get forced out with a stronger jet? Does the jet steering weaken a bit and cause this thing to go stationary? And now we've got ourselves a front lingering kind of I-4 corridor, then perhaps backing back up. Friday, Saturday, impacting the players. So I think we've got a lot to think about as we get close to probably the biggest, single event of the year here in Jacksonville.
Oh boy, it's like a Super Bowl. Yes. So we'll watch that. You and I are being the optimists. We're still thinking that it would move through the area, creating maybe some good scores on Friday. Softer greens. I was talking to Brody. He's a big golfer. He's saying that's good. Softer greens, and maybe a little chilly at the course, a little cooler. But I would rather take the cooler weather, drier weather than the heat, the storms, and a stalled front. So right now I'm leaning more toward the cooler, drier. How about you?
Yeah, 100%. I like conditions for the golfers. I want to see the best in the world take on one of the greatest golf courses in the world in conditions, and I want to see some wind. I want to see a wind shift. So, and that looks like what will happen between Thursday, if we get those southwest winds, into Friday, where we start to get more of a north wind. And that's going to change things up. That swirling wind in the stadium, at hole 17.
Softer greens then would be the wind may actually cancel that out. Then,
it could
have shifting winds.
You'd have shifting winds. How do you control your ball flight? Would be very, very interesting. Now, the players what do they want? Do they want the softer conditions for a day, give guys an opportunity to score on a day where weather conditions may be a little tougher, or do they want to push it? And because they've got the kind of the sub-air systems at all the greens,
right?
Meaning they can run air underneath the green surfaces.
Okay.
And so if they do get rainfall, like they like to control everything. So they want the moisture content controlled. They can blow those machines underneath the grass and cause water to evaporate.
Talk about climate control.
Truly. Like this is the players in the stadium course out there. It's got all the variables can pretty well be controlled. Now you can't control what's happening 2 feet above. Once you get into the atmosphere, you can't control that.
So what would this setup favor? Which player would you say?
Well, my pick early has been Scotty. That's
Scotty
been
Scheffler.
Scotty has been my pick all along, number one player in the world by a long shot. He can control his golf ball. He can hit all the shots. So I still lean towards him. He's had some rough Thursday, Fridays though lately. He's turned it on the weekend. Still finishing top 10 in most things, but his first, second rounds been a little questionable, and with that weather, a little unpredictable for the golfer. How will he handle that? It'll be interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
I like the guy from Europe with the long hair.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Thank you.
You like Tommy.
Tommy
Ladd.
Tommy. I'm going to take Tommy.
An Englishman.
Yes.
I love it.
Right.
That's a great pick. I think that's a fine pick, and a man who could be used to some conditions.
Yeah.
So let's see.
I'm excited. The last two Players Champions have won the Augusta, the Masters, right?
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
It's a big tournament. This weekend's looking fine, but Gave River Run runners, I said this morning, this is not the run that I would try to run my fastest race.
Yeah, might
60, 75 by 10 a.m., maybe even upper
toasty.
70. That's, not good running weather, but at least it'll be dry, no storms to dodge. Drought conditions go on in this forecast. There it is. We're watching the elevated fire risk as we finish up our show here. Just giving a reminder, no burning, heat all burn bans, and heat all warnings, right? 10-day forecast, Lou, let's take you all the way to the Players' second round. We got the first and second round on the far right, so I'm going to be on your side here. I'm going to say we're going to dry out after the Thursday rain, and the rest of the weekend will be cooler and drier. So that's good news. In the meantime, watching the fog in the morning, and of course, the big warm-up with near record highs this weekend.
All right, Mike, I'm Lou. We'll see you back here at 4:30 streaming on First Coast News Plus as well. Y'all have a great one.